Hello everybody, welcome in. We have another kit review, and it's World Eaters Week. These are insane. Everybody's going to want these in their army. The Exalted 8-bound and the regular 8-bound. You can have them in different sized units. So the regular 8-bound, these ones here, the regular 8-bound, you can have them in a unit of 3 to 6, whereas the Exalted 8-bound, you can only have them in units of 3. Maybe a little bit of a miss there. Like, why can't I have a unit of 8-bound? Corn's magic number. Corn's number, but never mind. We're going to have a quick kit review on this, and then I'm going to build some afterwards. So you can see what they look like all built up. Usual little unboxing. We have the great transfer sheet. Same as the Corn Berserkers. It's going to be very, very good for the transport. I think these can go in Land Raiders, so you'll be able to use one of these for your Land Raider iconography, which would be great. Bases, they're on 40mm bases. There we go. That's some 40mm bases. I do like the new bases with without the little holes in them. They're great, they're nice and tidy. My OCD approves of that. And here is the instruction manual. The instruction manual is massive. There's so many variations of things that you can build with these. Obviously, you have the regular 8-bound, and then you have the Exalted 8-bound. The Exalted 8-bound have these rather large spiky shoulder pads on, and slightly different weaponry. And then the regular 8-bound, slightly smaller shoulder pads. But very, very cool. The Exalted 8-bound has the bare feet as well, the possessed feet popping out of his shoes. Really cool. The weaponry you get, the weaponry is rather interesting. We'll talk about the weaponry in a bit because that's going to be the rules. Let's have a look at the sprues. So you get two sprues for 3 models. And there has been a request for me to count all the teeth. How many teeth are on the 8-bound sprues? Well, I can tell you there is 81 on there's 81 on this sprue, and there is 79 on this sprue, which means there are 160 teeth across both 8-bound sprues. Yeah, lots of eating going on with that. Right, let's have a look. We got lots of weaponry. We have the regular eviscerators around here. There's a few different types of weapons that you can equip across the 2 units, so the Exalted 8-bound and then the regular 8-bound. You have the regular eviscerators, which are simple damage. It's minus 3 on the armor penetration, 1 damage. You just make a lot of attacks if you have 2 of them. You then have the heavy eviscerator, or the heavy glaive, which is slightly nuts. Is there a larger one? No, it's just this one. So this is this thing is ridiculous. So you can give the heavy chain glaive to the champion. He then turns into, so their strength 6 normally. That turns into strength 8 at -3, and damage 2. But they can make a sweep attack, so the champion can have a sweep attack. So you can have 12 attacks, which is slightly ridiculous. So these are incredibly cool units as well. They're movement 9, and if they're near the Lord Invictus, because the regular 8-bound are core as well. If they're near the Lord Invictus, they get +2 movement as well, and they get to pre-game move. So yeah, they're going to be incredibly cool. They can 6-inch heroic, so they're going to be very, very cool for hiding behind objectives, because you can have a small unit. You can hide them behind objectives, hide them behind ruins to hold objectives, heroically intervene if anybody comes near, and they can also deep strike a turn earlier than normal. So they can deep strike on turn 1, or more interestingly, they can deep strike into your opponent's deployment zone turn 2. Which is very cool. Right, let's have a look at some of the parts. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. We have the optional parts are the shoulder pads. So you can have all the different shoulder pads. These are the regular 8-bound shoulder pads, and then where are the exalted ones? Oh, I can't find them. Where are they? The exalted ones are here, and they just have the spikes and the horns which come out of the shoulder pads. There we go. There's only one World Eaters shoulder pad, which I quite like actually, but then I'm not one for kind of covering things with World Eaters. There is a World Eaters knee pad as well. If you're a World Eaters fan, you can get them on. I do like, one of the things that I do like is the backs. So the backs have got all these little nodules for clipping in their power armor. And obviously they've got bigger because they've gotten possessed by 8 demons. And I'd be kind of tempted just for the regular 8-bound, just to leave the backpacks off and just have them like this. And then you could maybe use these on a converted Chaos Lord or something. In terms of the sprue and any delicate parts, everything on here looks like, I was looking at that one straight away, but there's going to be enough flexibility in there to clip that one out nice and simply. I will show you once I've got my clippers. So we should quite easily be able to just clip that one out, and you'll see there's plenty of flexibility in that not to damage the part. And then clippity clippity, that all comes off. So that one's fine. Same with these two here. There might be, just spotted this bit, there might be a little bit here, so we'll clip this first. So it should be alright here, but if we clip this, we'll see if there's any stress. No stress at all. The chain across it holds that fine, so there's no stress on there. So there's absolutely nothing. There's a little finger there, so I'd always clip that finger first, take the strain off. Yep, that's all fine as well. So very, very cool sprue. These are insane. So this is the chain fist, which you can give to the Exalted Champion, and the Exalted Champion can have 2 of them, which you can take up to damage 3 in the blood tithe. But this is like a chainsaw, and then on either side, so you can put, it's as if it's coming out of the fist. It's really cool. Let's see if we can find a picture on the box. There it is. So it's a it's a circular saw coming out of the guy's middle finger. It's absolutely insane. I think that's my favourite weapon in the entire box. So I would definitely. Unfortunately, that's on the 8-bound. So I would probably drop that in for one of the eviscerators and just say that counts as the eviscerator, because that I think is my favourite weapon in the entire thing, in the entire box. It's awesome, really, really gross, really grim. There it is again on the front. Right, nice box. Let's build one up, and we'll see what they look like built. I'm trying to decide whether to build the saw or the mental champion's glaive, and tune in a second and we'll find out which one I've built. We're back. These are really cool. These are really cool. So I've done a couple of builds. This is the Exalted. No, sorry, not the Exalted. This is just a regular 8-bound, but it's a champion. So he's got the stupid chain glaive, which he can do sweep attacks with and have 12 attacks and damage 3 with blood tithe points and everything like that. So this guy's cool. I've put loads of armor on this one. So he's got the Exalted. He's got the Exalted chest piece. This is one of the things that I like doing, particularly with stuff like this where you can't really tell the difference, and when you get to the table, or if you're playing a friend, you just say these are 8-bound or these are Exalted 8-bound, etc, etc. But he just looks cool with this chest piece on. So the chest piece fits. This is just so that you can see that the chest piece fits. That's the regular Exalted shoulder pad with the World Eaters logo, as you can see. Normal head, and I have put the backpack on this one because he is the champion, so I think he deserves just to look badass, because he does. However, check this one out. This is just a regular 8-bound. I was saying how this was my favourite weapon. It's really cool. It is really, really cool. And then he's got the this guy's insane. I'm painting this guy up. This guy's immense. He's going to be I might even paint him up as a Night Lord's possessed champion or something. He's really cool. I might have to. Actually, no, he hasn't got any. Oh, he's got one on his chest, not on his belt buckle. So I'll just get a knife and slice that off and put a skull on it or something. But as a possessed champion, this guy with a a chain sword and a circular saw between his middle fingers, he's so cool. And I haven't put any armor on him, so he hasn't got a backpack, he hasn't got any armor plates. However, interestingly, all the arms, as you can see, fit across all the models. So this model was supposed to have a chainsaw on this hand and a axe on this side if you follow the instructions. However, as you can see from this one, this is the third body, but all the arms fit all the bodies. So all the arms here, they all fit all the bodies. And this is one of my favourite things to do when you get, I mean, that's a really cool pose. This is one of my favourite things to do when you get units like this, which are really unique. They're really fun. They've got lots and lots of weapon options in the kit. I love making arms fit to different poses, because then you can have badass stuff like that. I mean, that's just so cool. And you can see he's got my a little torso twist going on there. I haven't touched him. This is how he was sculpted. So he's got a lovely torso twist. And look how cool and badass it looks when you get torso twists in. I keep talking about it. I keep going on about torso twists, but they're great. When it's when the waist, the shoulders, and the hips, or the chest, are all pointing in different directions. They're all twisted, or so they're not just on a single plane. So you can get some really interesting things like that. But yeah, all the weapons fit, which is great, because then we'll be able to mix and match the weapons and make them all cool. They are all very, very similar. Like, this is an eviscerator. That's going to be that could even be the chain fist for all intents and purpose. That's the only one that I think is going to be very particular. And obvious. So if you have that, that's obviously the heavy chain glaive eviscerator champion weapon, whatever. So he needs to be able to pick him out, so that when you're playing in the game, you know where he's going to be piling in and attacking. So that's the one weapon that you need to be able to pick out. All the other stuff. And also, that's dead easy, because he can only have that weapon. It's not like you can have that weapon, although that would be really cool to trim that hand off and have it like that, and have him running around with yeah, that would be really cool. Have him just rocking up with a chain glaive, or even cut this hand off, and have him holding the chain glaive, and then another. Yeah, that would be quite cool, actually. Oh, I should have done that. That would have been awesome. Anyway, somebody do that. Somebody who's watching this video, trim this hand off here. There's a join there, so you can just tweak that a slight tiny bit, and have the chain glaive coming across his waist, and then the other some other thing on it. As long as he's got the chain glaive, he's easy to spot. And a champion can have a massive weapon and a axe, of course, because he's a champion, of course he would. So anyway, yeah, there we go. This is my favourite one. I think he's absolutely awesome. I'm going to get him primed. I'm going to get him painted up, so keep an eye out on Instagram for that guy painted up. I'll try and get some kind of Night Lord's insignia on him somewhere. He hasn't got a lot of armour. Maybe I'll have to put a lightning strike across his chest or something, as if he's been possessed by the lightning gods. Khorne have gifted him. My Night Lords are predominantly all going to be Mark of Khorne. Like I showed you earlier in the last video, all my Khorne berserkers are being painted up like Night Lords as well. So yeah, there we go. I'll get this guy. He's so cool. He looks like Wolverine on steroids. It's insane. Anyway, right. Thank you very much. There we go. Make sure if you have done that conversion, not that one. There we go. If you have done that conversion, please tag me on Instagram, because I want to see it. It's going to look awesome. Thank you very much, everybody. You can catch me on Twitch at Chris Frossin, twitch.tv/Chris Frossin. You can catch me on Twitter at the same. It's always Chris Frossin. Instagram as well. Go drop me a follow on Instagram, because I do. There's regular stories and just funny little things going on Instagram. And yeah, I'm always on Twitch. Come and drop in and ask me any questions that you have, and I will see you at the next video. Yeah, he's cool. Right, take care. See you later. Have a good one. Amazing. Let's go do some more World Eater stuff.